So as I can see, we're missing where we can find Singing Tom. So we probably have to look for him. I'm reviewing this. I could put out a bulletin for a big, bearded, mutton-chopped man with a cap and all black, and dressed in all black. But it could be just about anyone, really. I could try it. Let me just visit the other locations that have opened up and see if we can get more descriptions about this man.
So this is what it's come to, eh? Braving the stench of human waste in hopes of finding a lead? Just make sure you stay away from the edge.
Well, it wouldn't really affect you, Bill, but noted. I'll stay away from the edge.
While you could use a bath, I don't think this is the right place to take a dip.
This would be the anti-bath water.
I hope those aren't full of what I think.
They're probably full of shit.
Another mysterious machine. Who knew dealing with human waste involved so much technology?
Well, it's because humans don't want to deal with it. Machines have to deal with it, because it's disgusting.
Another mysterious device. Some sort of water treatment device would be my guess. For all I know, it could just be a fancy boiler for tea.
Could be. Kinda has a little face, with antennas. Cute.
Handy to know where you are. But why would anyone actually travel around the city this way?
To avoid prying eyes, Bill? I mean, put yourself in the mind of the murderer.
Begging your pardon, sir.
What? Who are you? What are you doing down here?
My name's Miles Fordham, and I'm a private investigator. I'm looking for a sewer worker by the name of Cormac.
We needn't look no further. But what is this about?
I just have a few questions for you.
All right. Cormac will answer them, but don't dally for too long. It can be dangerous down here for anyone who's not trained as Cormac is.
Is it difficult being a sewer worker?
Difficult? Nah, it's a dream. Especially since they introduced all these steam tech treatments and purification whatsits. The only thing Cormac's got to do is check the little dial never goes into the red on old Belinda.
Belinda?
Aye, the purifier. She's a real special lady who's made Cormac's life so much brighter. Cormac makes sure to thank her each and every day.
Wonderful. We're talking to a lunatic.
Wasn't so easy a few years ago. Back then it was tapping on pipes all day.
Tapping on pipes?
To make sure they was flowing fine and not blocked. Cormac would take his little hammer and tap, tap, tap on the pipes to make sure they was ringing fine. You can imagine what that was like. Tap, tap, tap. Ring, ring, ring. All day, up and down, over and over. The tapping stopped, but the ringing never left. Still hears it to this day, Cormac does.
Well, that's quite terrible, but you can see the advantage of having the steam tech. Although that kind of leaves the sewers unchecked, because you don't really have to walk them anymore.
Would you be able to remove the cover of a storm drain?
Yes, of course, sir. Cormac's got the right tool for the job. Just a few twists from old Mary here, and any drain will open up like a Christmas rose.
Excellent. Would you be able to open the storm drain outside the Silent Raven?
Suppose so, yes. But Cormac ain't allowed to just open up drains as he sees fit. What do you want this drain open for?
I don't have a reason, but I'll let you know. I'm not sure how much I want to tell him. There's a vital piece of evidence.
I believe there's a vital piece of evidence at the bottom of the drain.
You don't say.
It's quite true. It may even help me solve a murder.
Well then, in that case, Cormac will get the drain open for you. Come on, there's not a moment to lose.
We maybe should have discussed why I
This
want it
it
open.
then?
That's the one.
Right, won't be a moment.
Cormac's a good guy.
There we are.
Thank you for your help, Cormac.
Not a problem. Now, if you don't mind, Cormac's just going to pop inside for a quick pint.
Detective work is a dirty job, but someone has to do it. Don't forget to roll up your sleeve.
I really hope there's something down there.
Ew.
Ugh. This is almost as bad as the time I had to search for that stolen necklace in a pile of horse manure.
I'm really glad I didn't draw the short straw in that case.
And there's the weapon.
Well, how about that?
A shame the police managed to overlook this.
Well, now we have the murder weapon.
Nothing else down there but dirty water.
Yeah, I think you need to boil that hand. But I kind of missed talking to Cormac about all this stuff because I just went straight to drain pipe business. Maybe I can still talk to him about all those topics. If not, I'll just reload. Cormac, old boy. Let's talk about some other stuff that I should have talked to you before.
Moment of your time, if I may.
Right, we'll make it quick.
You know a man named Ronan Lespay?
Cormac knows few men. People don't much like talking to a man who spends his days in the sewers. Can't really blame him for it. It's hard to get the stink off, so why bother even trying?
You didn't answer my question, though. Do you know Ronan Lespay or not?
Could you describe him? Cormac's got a better memory for faces than for names.
I have his portrait. Here, have a look.
Ah, yes. Cormac saw this fellow recently.
On election night?
That's right. He come into the bar, voted, went out. Looked drunk to Cormac, but then everyone at that place usually is.
So do you frequent this pub often?
Yes. The Raven is where Cormac goes to forget about the day's work. The barmaid, Nicole, she's a good sort. We likes talking about the ponies down at the track. Nicky loves her some racing. She gives Cormac drinks for cheap in exchange for odd jobs. Nice to have your own personal sewer man, I suppose. She's really the only one Cormac talks to. There's a few others Cormac sees often, but Cormac hasn't spoken with them.
Ripes. This guy goes on, doesn't he? To be fair, you were warned.
Do you know anything about the murder that took place outside here on election night?
Murder? Ah, yes. The commotion out in the alleyway.
That's right. Did you see or hear anything?
It was a touch noisy that night, what with all the election stuff happening, but Cormac remembers the sound of the gun, one shot, and then shouting and hollering from the bar. A few people run outside to look at what happened, but Cormac just stayed in his seat and finished his whiskey.
So you didn't see the man who was shot, or who shot him?
No, keeps to himself, Cormac does. Makes life easier that way.
Could he be any more unhelpful? Actually, it's probably best not to find out.
What are you talking about, Bill? He helped us with that drain pipe and we didn't even tell him why. Cormac's a good guy.
Do you have any opinions regarding the election?
Cormac hears lots of things about Atwood, but he's the one what's got this new machinery put into the sewer system. There's still a job for Cormac, so all that talk about being replaced by machines is just talk, for now. But Leroy says he wants to give the workers their fair chance, so Cormac can't argue with that. What about you?
I would have preferred Atwood stay in office myself.
Bah! They's all the same in the end. One way or another. No point worrying, says old Cormac.
I wonder if you could tell me if you saw a man of this description at the Silent Raven on election night. He's tall, strong build, with a beard or mutton chops, dressing all in black and possibly wearing a cap.
Oh, aye. Cormac remembers seeing a fella like that.
What was he doing?
Kept going in and out of the bar. When he was inside, he stood near the voting booths, hardly moving a muscle.
And when he was outside?
That, Cormac couldn't say.
Did you notice anything else about him?
Yes, Cormac noticed him come in and speak with Nicole, the barmaid, after the commotion outside.
Is that right? That's very interesting.
Nicole, we have some stuff to talk about.
Thanks for your time. I'll let you get back to your drink. Excuse me, barmaid?
Hi, what do you need?
You know that description I gave you earlier? Of the tall man in black?
Yeah, what about it?
I spoke with Cormac, and he told me he saw you speaking with someone fitting that description shortly after the murder occurred.
And you believed him? Cormac's a good sort, but he's not exactly reliable.
I'd say he's twice as reliable as you are. Now tell me the truth, or I'll have you in as an accomplice to murder.
All right, relax. I don't know the man by name, but he came to me after the commotion outside and paid me a few crowns to keep my mouth shut about it. I didn't ask any more questions, and I wasn't about to refuse some extra cash. That was that, I swear.
That's not good enough. I need some way to find this man. Is there anything else you can tell me?
Well, I did notice he had a scar on his left cheek. Kind of looked like a shepherd's crook. But that's all, really.
I suppose that'll have to do.
It's perfect.
I appreciate you taking the time to chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, but a unique identifier on a part of the body that can't be hidden that easily? That's an important marker. A scar, eh? Ah, a lovely opium place.
Crisparkle Lane. Nothing crisp or sparkly about it. I wonder how many layers of advertisements you'd have to cut through before getting to the wall. I can't make heads or tails of it, but I'll bet you 10 crowns it doesn't say welcome.
This looks pretty shady. Let's go in.
Yes? What do you want?
I'm looking for a man named Darius. I'm interested in riding the dragon, man.
I was told this was the place to come if I wanted to ride the dragon.
Oh. Well, why didn't you say so? Please, come in.
Poor horse. That fellow in the armor must have weighed a ton. Fancy.
I wouldn't describe it as fancy.
They're really dedicated to their theme in here, aren't they? At least they provide their clients with some measure of privacy. Now I see why they call it riding the dragon. Now I see why...
So that's Darius. Let's talk to the lovely owner.
She's not gonna be much help right now. That's not to bother her.
All right. Darius, my good man, if you will just snap out of your high.
Excuse me, I'm looking for a man by the name of Darius.
Well, look no further. Welcome, friend. Sit, join me.
I'll stand, if that's all right. I was wondering if I could ask you a few questions.
Questions are the path to enlightenment. Answers fly by as birds on the breeze. But will a caged bird sing? That is the true question.
Wonderful. He's as high as a kite. This is gonna be worse than pulling teeth.
Mutton chops. Is that a scar on your face?
Do you often come to this establishment, Darius?
Oh yes, this place is better than any doctor or hospital. It has exactly the cure I need.
Cure? For what?
I'm ill, sir. Just as you are. Just as we all are. Infected by a terrible disease known as life.
Speak for yourself.
But spend a few hours in here with the intoxicating nectar of the poppy, and you'll find nothing can defeat you.
Oh, I think the police can defeat you. You've got the mutton chops and that face scar.
Are you familiar with a man named Ronan Lespay?
I know many men. Some old, some young, some rich, some poor. Some I know by name, some by face. But this man you speak of, this Ronan, he is unfamiliar to me.
I have a ferrotype. Do you recognize him?
Forgive me, but my eyes are blurry. I cannot make out his features.
Well, he's useless, isn't he? Too bad there's no way to snap him out of it, like there was with Dupre's kid.
Yeah, that would be quite useful. Maybe I can get some vigor pills. Again,
What can you tell me about the Silent Raven?
Ah, the Raven. My home away from home.
I would have thought that was this place. Unless this one is just the home.
Do you have many friends there? People you speak with often?
Yes, friends. I call them friends anyway, but really, what is a friend? Someone who drinks with you? Someone who shares secrets with you? Are those friends? My father used to tell me that the only two friends you had were your mother and the crown in your pocket. Well, both of those are gone now, so what does that mean for me?
I don't know, sir. I'm just asking about people you speak to at the Raven.
The barmaid, Nicole, she gets mad at me sometimes when I break things. But she's all right.
She probably gets mad because you're a drug addict.
Do you know anything about the murder outside the Silent Raven on election night?
Murder? Was it a murder?
It was. A man was shot in cold blood.
That would explain the commotion, as well as the sound.
So you heard the gunshot?
I did. I thought it might have been one of the voting machines making the noise, but then there were shouts, and people began to run.
Did you see or hear anything before you heard the gunshot?
I seem to remember hearing a man shouting a name.
A name?
Yes. It sounded like Priscilla.
Well, how about that? He's managed to be of some use after all. Assuming he's telling the truth, of course.
And does the name Priscilla mean anything to you?
Afraid not, young man.
I'm thinking bullshit. I don't know if I can trust what you're saying.
I was wondering if you could tell me whether you saw a certain man at the Raven on election night. He's tall, of strong build, with a beard or mutton chops, dressing all in black and possibly wearing a cap.
Lots of people like that go to the Raven. I see loads of them every night. But now that you mention it, I do remember someone like that. He was a strange one.
How so?
I remember one of the times he came in, he was adjusting his hat. I could have sworn when he took it off for just a moment, his hair was bright red.
How is that strange, exactly?
Because his beard was jet black. It was the oddest thing I'd seen. Well, it was the oddest thing I'd seen, until his beard slid halfway down his face.
I see. Well, thank you for the information.
Wonderful. This testimony is about as useful as a hole in the head. Then again, there might be something to it.
A redhead with a fake beard. And a scar.
Have you ever conversed with a patron called Singing Tom?
Singing Tom? You mean old Tom Puffin?
I'm not sure. I was just told he was called Singing Tom and was a regular at the Silent Raven.
That's the man. I see him in here all the time.
In here, not just at the Raven?
Tom is a child of the poppy, just as I am. He truly understands the world as it is.
Do you know where I might be able to find him?
Yes, he's the choir master at St. Denis Cathedral. That's where he spends his time when he's not here.
You mean to tell me we have to talk to another one of these loonies? Wonderful.
So did you manage to get out of here and vote?
Please don't bother me with such trivial matters. Why should I care who leads the government? As long as they don't outlaw places like this, they can do whatever they please.
Is this guy ignorant or just apathetic? Yeah, well, I don't know, and I don't care.
Goodbye, sir.
Goodbye, young man. May you find peace and happiness.
Peace and happiness. May the force be with you. And all that.
She's not gonna be much help right now.
Okay, I'll bother her later. But we have a location for Singing Tom. Tom a Puffin. So let's see if Tommy old boy is gonna sing.
Prayer candles? People think lighting one of these is gonna solve their problems. If only it were that easy. Also, what happens if they go out? Does that mean your prayer gets canceled? Shh! What? It's an important question!
It is important.
The more I think about it, the more I want to test my theory about prayers being cancelled if the candles go out.
Yeah, me too. Oh, I can blow them out. Oh, interesting. I'm gonna leave this for now.
Now this is one intriguing chest. If only we could search it without arousing any suspicions.
Oh, it looks like it has like massive amounts of loot in it. Like the really good kind because it's a really big chest. That's what he said.
This angel looks like it would throw its lamp at you as soon as you turned your back on it. This looks like the nicer of the two angels.
They're identical, Bill. You crazy.
What a racket! I'm glad you're not a member of this church. Sitting through Sunday Mass would drive me insane. What a racket!
I beg your pardon. Are you Tom Puffin?
I am. How may I help you?
Miles Fordham, private investigator. I wanted to ask you a few questions.
Questions? Have I done something wrong?
No, Mr. Puffin. I simply believe you may have some information that I need.
Very well, then.
Very well. Oh, my God. What is going on with all of this?
How did you become choir master of this church?
Oh, well, I studied music at the University of New Britannia. Once I completed my studies, I began writing symphonies in hopes of securing a patron, but I had no luck. So I decided to focus on choral compositions. I sent a few pieces to the bishop, and he offered me the position.
And you enjoy it?
Oh, yes, sir, immensely. I'm able to continue composing songs for our choir, as well as teach music to our young members. I take my church duties very seriously.
What else do you do besides lead the choir?
Just a few things here and there, making sure the aisles and the pews are clean, tending to the prayer candles, that sort of thing.
Do you recognize the man in this photo?
Is that? No, never mind.
Yes, you do.
What is it?
Well, for a moment, I thought it was someone else, but I was clearly mistaken.
So you don't recognize this person then?
Afraid not. Who is he?
His name is, or rather was, Ronan Lespay.
What? Is he dead?
He is. I'm trying to find out who killed him.
Well, I hope you find your man, Mr. Fordham.
Who did he remind you of? Suspicious.
Does the name Priscilla mean anything to you?
Priscilla? What does that have to do with anything?
The name has come up in my investigation. Is it someone you're acquainted with?
No, it isn't. I don't know anyone by that name.
He certainly seemed concerned about her, though.
Yeah, I was gonna call bullshit. You definitely know Priscilla.
What were you doing on election night, Mr. Puffin?
Election night? That was ages ago, wasn't it?
It was 4 nights ago, to be precise.
Oh, you have to understand. I have trouble recalling what I ate for breakfast this morning, let alone what happened 4 nights ago.
Well, isn't that convenient?
Do try to remember, Mr. Puffin. It's quite important.
Well, I know I voted at my local polling place, the Silent Raven. And then... I'm not sure, actually.
You're not sure, actually. What the fuck does that mean?
Do you know anything about the murder outside the Silent Raven?
Murder?
A murder?
Yes, a man was shot. Did you see or hear anything?
I don't remember. I don't think so, no.
How long were you at the Raven that evening?
Not very long, I don't think. I went, voted, stayed for a drink, and then I left.
You recall what you did the rest of the evening?
Not specifically. I probably went home and went to bed, like I always do.
So he left before the murder.
Are you in the habit of using opium, Mr. Puffin?
What? Why would you think that?
I met your friend Darius. He told me you share a pastime.
All right, yes, I do enjoy a visit to the opium den from time to time.
From time to time? More like morning, noon, and night.
Have you found the drug has had any adverse effects? Memory loss, for example.
I admit I'm not quite as quick as I used to be, but without it I'm in constant pain.
Is that right?
I fell off a horse when I was 15, and ever since then my back's not been right. The doctors haven't been able to help. The poppy is my only comfort. I wish there were another way.
It might be worth seeking a more professional opinion about the effects of opium.
So, what do you think of the election results?
All right, the election. Who won?
Leroy. He beat Atwood by a significant margin.
Oh, I suppose that's good. I think I may have voted for him, but I'm not sure.
I'll let you resume your practicing, Mr. Puffin.
Thank you. Have a blessed day.
Have a blessed day too, you weird, styled man. So you don't remember anything, but you remember going to the bar, staying for a drink, voting, and leaving. But nothing else, nothing more detailed.
Now this is one
Very intriguing chest. Well, since you're definitely kind of creepy and a little annoying, let's see what you'll do if I blow all of these out. Maybe I'll get the chance to explore that amazing-looking chest. That's what he said.
Well, that's all of them. Hope you made a wish.
Well, let's see what that does. I cancelled all the prayers. Oh no, look at that. Look, they're all extinguished and it looks terrible.
Could I have another moment of your time, Mr. Puffin?
Yes, I suppose so.
Yes.
It seems that all the prayer candles have gone out.
Have they? Blast, I keep saying there's a draft, but nobody's done anything about it. Excuse me for a moment, won't you?
Do.
Let's hope this chest hasn't got squeaky hinges.
Dearest Ned, your last letter made me giggle with delight. I just cannot stop dreaming of the day we can finally make our dreams come true and live together as man and wife. I think it would be just the most splendid idea to get a puppy. I've already begun thinking of names. How does Wuffle sound? Or Wuffy? Wuffy sound. All my love. P. So that must be Priscilla. Who's Ned? I'm just gonna save before I confront him with this letter. I get the feeling that I'm gonna reload.
Could I have another moment of your time, Mr. Puffin?
Yes, I suppose so.
Yes.
Do you know anyone named Ned?
Ned? Well, yes, I do. My nephew, Ned Bunkridge.
Your nephew?
Yes? Why do you ask?
Where might I find Ned? I'd like to speak with him.
Is everything all right? Ned hasn't gotten into any trouble, has he? I always tell him just because he's training his body, that's no excuse to pick fights.
No, he hasn't gotten into any trouble.
Oh, well, he lives in Lyon, at 511 Parkside Terrace.
Right. Thank you for the information.
So he's a big guy, like a boxer.
I'll let you resume your practicing, Mr. Puffin.
Thank you. Have a blessed day.
Blessed day. Ned, old boy. Actually, before we go to bodybuilder Ned, I will go to the police and show Dr. Edwards that gun we found. And I'm just gonna check my case book. Description of strange man. Mutton chops, dressed in black, wore a cap, red hair, and a scar the shape of a shepherd's crook on his left cheek. Alright. I'll talk to Edwards before I give up to the description.
Edwards, you know much about the effects of opium?
Quite a great deal, unfortunately. It's all the rage these days. Most people use it to calm the nerves or relieve pain, but it's highly addictive and has numerous adverse effects.
Such as?
It depends, really. Most common are sweating, nausea, memory loss, or blurred vision. But more serious cases can lead to hallucination, violent mood swings, coma, or even death. I just had a case in here a few weeks ago who died from an opium overdose. It wasn't pretty.
Doesn't sound like it. Thanks for the information, Edwards.
Anytime.
So maybe Ned is an opium addict as well. He got a violent mood swing and killed someone. Well, here's the murder weapon.
I found this pistol at the scene of the Lespay crime. Did you take a look and see if it was used to murder him?
It's all slimy. Where was it?
Sitting at the bottom of a storm drain.
Oh, I suppose that's not as exciting as finding it inside someone's intestines. Did I ever tell you about that post-mortem, by the way?
No, I certainly don't want to hear about it now. How long will it take you to analyze that pistol?
I should have something conclusive within the hour, if you don't mind waiting.
No, it'll give me some time to gather my thoughts.
Right, I've concluded my analysis, and this gun was definitely used to shoot Mr. Lespay. The bullet I removed from his body is a perfect match.
Thank you, Edwards. That is extremely helpful.
There's one more thing. I cleaned off some of the muck and found the initials JB etched into the handle.
Interesting.
My expertise with guns is purely forensic, so I can't determine if this is the gun's maker or the initials of its owner. That's going to have to be your job.
Thank you, Edwards. Help is always appreciated. I'll be going now, Edwards.
Take care, Fordham.
I'll take a look at my casebook and see if JB pops up. But I'm really terrible with names, so I can't recall. Speak to Ned. I kind of want to speak to Ned before I put that bulletin. Maybe he knows something? Or I think I'll take another round of the locations and speak to anyone who has something else to say.
Right this way, sir. Mr. Bunkridge is in his gymnasium.
Thank you, my good man.
Well, you take a look at this place, and take a look at him. Maybe you should consider doing some training yourself, Miles. You aren't getting any younger after all.
Thanks, Bill. Now, let's focus on the case.
What in the ether is that supposed to be? Looks like some kind of medieval torture device. Then again, so does most of this newfangled exercise equipment.
It does look pretty cool.
This seems to be where Ned keeps his extra equipment, and assorted other garbage. They don't look that heavy to me.
Then again, you can't pick up anything.
Oh, look, maybe you can slip these on and go a couple of rounds with Ned. If that's his best right hook, he'll be a pushover. And after that expert knockout you delivered Officer Grant, he won't stand a chance.
Damn straight.
Some kind of martial art? Doesn't look like any I've ever heard of. Makes you wonder if old Nettie boy is at the end of his rope, too.
Very punny.
Just when I thought I'd seen it all. What will they think of next?
How much do these things cost? I mean, they must be worth a fortune.
Excuse me, Mr. Bunkridge?
Oh, hello. Who are you?
I'm Miles Fordham, a private investigator. Your valet let me in.
Right, of course. What can I do for you?
I have a few questions for you, if you'd be so kind.
Yes, all right. I could use a bit of a rest anyway.